Okay, I'm going to take over from here for a hot minute to discuss how like an antagonistic or villainous character is not the same thing as villain worship. I've been in the villain fandom for years, and trust me, I'm really tired of seeing people put certain villains on a pedestal and trying to protect them from any sort of criticism or blatantly being seen as a bad person when hello, that's the entire point for the role of the story they were written for. Now, I'm not talking about redeemable characters. Think Krona and Princess Krahe, who both got very similar character arcs. I'm not talking about naughty turned nice characters that play the role of the antagonist or villain, only to choose to be good people when they're given a gentle hand and helping them decide their own fate. I'm talking about characters that openly choose to be monsters within their own story or do things they can't take back, like taking the lives of others for this, that, and the other with no regards of what they just did. These are the type of characters where there should not be any excuse to justify their actions and behavior. It might be hard for some people to understand, but when it comes to these type of characters, they can have a likability or entertainment factor to where they are able to gather a fan base. Melon from the recent season of Beastars is a prime example. Yes, Melon is a psychopath that openly enjoys killing because he gets amusement out of it. However, with the playful side of his personality, when his sadistic tendencies come out, he does have moments where he can be entertaining to watch. Like in moments when he's interacting with either Legoshi or Yaya or scaring one of the 9 lives the Shishigumi have left. It's the way that he conducts himself that makes him really interesting and fascinating to watch. Melon is a fun character, so it's not hard to understand how a character that does the terrible actions he does in both the anime and the manga could end up having a fan base. And that's not the same thing as villain worship. What I described is simply finding entertainment value in a character that is written to be a terrible person. When it comes to villain worship, it's when you sympathize so heavily with a character that you begin to side with them and you think that they're correct in what they're doing. I don't know if it's part of media literacy when people completely miss the point that there are villains that are supposed to be seen as the cautionary tale of what happens when you let the worst you have to offer go unchecked. You can feel bad these characters had a traumatic past that still affects them currently in the story, but the moment you want to stop seeing them as a bad person because of their trauma, that's an issue. When it comes to people who openly villain worship, they don't want to acknowledge the character's wrongdoings or try to use their sympathetic past as a means to deflect criticism or guilt trip you into seeing that character as, well, not a bad person when they were written to be a bad person. An example of villain worship is actually a character that I love, and that's Handsome Jack from the Borderlands franchise. He's a good example of what happens when a lust for power goes unchecked. Jack is the CEO of Hyperion, and he definitely uses his status, position of power, and wealth for what he believes is necessary to civilize Pandora, but he goes about it in ways that just ends in so much bloodshed. On top of having an absolute zero regard for the lives of, well, anybody, whether or not they're on his side, he has this delusion of grandeur that he is a hero, again, despite the fact he's killed and caused the suffering of so many inhabitants on the planet of Pandora. And his cruelty just doesn't end with the so-called bandits on the uncivilized planet. He's also harmed and even killed some of his own employees or will threaten their lives or their loved ones if they don't do what he says. Jack is not a good person. He is quick to turn violent if you displease him in the tiniest way. But when it comes to his personality and the amazing voice work by Damian Clark, Jack is extremely entertaining. He's a lovable jackass that definitely has his immature bits to him. With his mean-spirited and just random funny moments, I'm not gonna lie, Handsome Jack is pretty funny.
Oh, he just exploded, didn't he? I guess that's kinda like dancing.
You are such a jackass. Oh, where the hell is... Oh, I had a violin somewhere. I was gonna play it all sarcastically. God damn it, it was gonna be awesome. Blake! Where's a bloody violin? Alright, sweet. Found it. Alright, this is a song for Mordecai's stupid bird. Any. Alright, you know what? Screw you. It would have been hilarious if I found it earlier. Shut up!
Yeah, Handsome Jack definitely has a likability factor, but you have a lot of people that don't want to call him a bad person, mostly because they are clinging to the traumatic bits of his backstory with him being abandoned by his mom, raised by a crazy, extremely abusive grandmother, and the accidental death of his first wife. And in some situations, they try blaming his daughter for his misfortune, when she's also a victim and a casualty when it comes to Jack's selfish, ego-stroking desire to be recognized as a hero. Yes, he did love his daughter daughter, but you can't ignore the fact that he hurt her. You can like Handsome Jack. You can think he's funny, but the moment you want to blame other people for his actions and try saying it's understandable that he's doing what he's doing and how he has little value for anyone's life and is very quick to get violent with those that are not on board with what he's trying to do to quote-unquote civilize Pandora, all because of his own selfish desire to be recognized as a hero without committing honorable acts so he can respectfully earn that title and all of its accolades. Yeah, that's an issue. Okay, I took up enough time. I'm going back to my sensory deprivation nest.